This is Vanessa Pijnenberg from Under Stage Lights. I'm your Miss Teen St. Albert, and I'm here with part of Ace of Base today. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a change in lineup since the original band. Could you introduce yourself just to the fans first?
Yeah, well, I'm Ulf. I founded the band with my partner Jonas 21 years ago. I started to work with Jonas 25 years ago, so it's a pretty long time now. And we had our 20 years anniversary on New Year's Eve last year, and that was a brilliant concert. We had 200,000 people in the audience. That was just fantastic. Magic. It was magic. So we released our first album in the US 1993, 1994, and we spent a lot of time in Canada, especially the US, were a very, very big market for us. We sold Diamond in US. I think we sold Diamond here as well in Canada. And we came a lot to Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, but we've never been here in Edmonton, so this is the first time.
It's good nice. First stop, capital X, yeah. So from 2002 to 2010, there was a bit of a hiatus, and I was just wondering what you guys did personally and collectively during that time as a band.
I think we did separate things, all of us in the band, but if I talk for Jonas and I, we still continue writing music, but for other bands and some movies and so forth. I started to produce a magic show where we traveled around the world with that, and also magic for TV called Magician Impossible. But I also started to work as an advisor to a lot of consumer brands like Nokia, Canon, Volkswagen, and all their global music and fashion strategy. That was very interesting. And then I started to work with a little bit other things, a lot of focus on clean tech technologies to help the world to be a little cleaner place.
Okay. Since music has changed so drastically over the past 10 years, how do you feel that you guys have adapted as a band in order to kind of meet what society is expecting?
Obviously, the music industry have changed of many reasons. I would talk more than 2 hours if I start on that issue, on that topic, because I love that topic. But put it this way, we had our first website, 1994. Do a little art pause here. What is the train pause? Okay. So we started, we introduced our website 1994. And we actually got 1.7 million hits in the first 8 weeks.
Wow.
And that was a third of whole internet at that time. And there was only 3 bands on the internet. It was us, with Peter Gabriel, and it was David Bowie. And a lot of our followers were very into technology, computer driven, and we started with music with computers. I started doing music on computers already in 1981, which was quite early. So I think that was an easy adaptation into the modern technology. So we followed the internet very closely, and I think when Sean Parker invented Napster, he was in my world the biggest hero, because he really understood how to bring the music industry to the next level. Unfortunately, the rest of the music industry did not understand that.
Yeah.
So they shut him down, and now we know what happened afterwards. At least he got his revenge through Facebook, and I'm very pleased and happy for that. And now Sean Parker is also the largest investor in a company called Spotify, which is in Europe the thing. Everybody's consuming music on Spotify. It's a stream technology. It's coming out to North America and soon to Canada as well. That, I think, is the future, how to listen to music. So how to adapt to this, I think the most important thing is to use social media, especially Facebook, where we are very active every day, and all our fans are very active, to interact with them, see what they want, tell them the stories behind the stage and behind the songs, and let them be part of the Ace of Base family. We even brought it to the next level, where we actually inviting fans, writing songs with us, producing songs with us. Train pause. We already 3 years ago created a platform where our fans could take our material and remix it and reproduce it and vote for the best one, and then we released the best versions that actually the fans did. And now we brought it even higher level earlier this year with a platform called Indaba, with All For You and The Sign, and it became incredibly successful. So instead of using remixing guys who cost a fortune and actually not always really doing a great job, now suddenly you sit with 10,000 remixes, your fans voting for the best remixes, and we get such a great selection, and everybody feels that they are participating in the creation, and that is the future. That's really the 2.0. I would almost say 3.0 of the music industry. I think the younger generation, for them this is very natural. It just, how does it fit into the modern music world? I think the traditional record companies, they're completely dead. We're just waiting for them to die out. They are dinosaurs. The new is artists can communicate directly with your fans, build your own fan base, sell it to your fans, and you need just to maybe partner up with some good brands who can support you. That's it. I look very bright on the music industry. Finally, because at least now the technology is strong enough so we're not depending on the music industry anymore.
Okay. Do you find that your demographic has changed in terms of fans as you've progressed in age? Like you're saying with the technology, you're finding that it's typically the younger generation that's been kind of working on it, but do you feel like your fan base has changed at all over the past 21 years?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of the fans who've been following us for 20 years now. And obviously they have also got a little bit older. Yeah. They were young teenagers and now they actually have families.
Yeah.
But they're still the fans, and we meet them a lot when we perform. We also, what I'm more surprised of is actually when you see, especially on Facebook, you see the demographics of who is your fan and who is what. Of course. And I'm very impressed that there's a lot of young 18 to 25 that are actually coming on board. Of course, these guys are the most active on Facebook. But on the other hand, I mean, if you're 18, you were not even born when we released our first single. So it's nice to see the generation that goes, probably their parents will listen to it and brought it to the children, and they continue to bring the music with them. So it has changed, and some countries differently. But we saw when we toured East Europe last year, in the front there was only 16 years old girls and guys screaming, and it was like, what? So it's quite funny because we haven't been active really for 10 years. Yeah. Still, we have been touring now the last few years a little bit, but it's the first time we released something new last fall. So yes, it has changed, and it's amazing to see how strong they still are and how loyal the fans still are.
Yeah. So your demographic has changed a bit. How would you say your music has changed with the 5th album that came out in the fall? Do you see any differences with having the new members? And
it's the difference with new members because you have now very different vocals. I would say